Are we drinking here or what?
I am. I think we're going to need to.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Five Idiots Talking Toys. It is Wednesday night, so we are here as usual for our Wednesday's Wins and Wiffs of the week. There are three idiots with you tonight. Charles is here, Brandon's here. We are going to jump into a couple of new acquisitions we have for our collections and see if we have a whiff this week. If not, it's a bonus win, as always. Thanks very much for visiting us here on YouTube on our channel, Five Idiots Talking Toys. Please subscribe to the channel to get notified of our new content by hitting that bell icon. And also like the video and give us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode, what your favorite new win was amongst the three of us, and give us your best guesses as to where Lord Walden is tonight and where Chris W. is. And they're taking a little break from the show tonight for various reasons. We'll get into that. Guys, happy Wednesday. What's up? How you doing?
Happy Wednesday, Shane.
Hi.
Brandon, is it Wednesday in your time zone yet?
Not quite.
Okay, so he'll be having Wednesday tomorrow. He's in a different part of the world.
I wish it was hump day, but it's not hump day yet.
So Lord Walden is not here. Do we want to jump into that? I mean, that's a saucy topic. He's always here.
Lord Walden is at a rave like he's 19 years old again. He is sending us photos. He's getting drunk, watching bands, sleeping in tents. It's crazy.
Now, is it confirmed? Is he actually sleeping in a tent, or was I just joking about that?
I am pretty sure he's sleeping wherever he falls at the end of the last band.
I agree with that.
I mean, for all of our people watching, there's probably a bunch of people that have seen like the recent, Woodstock 99 documentary. There was one last year from HBO. There's one for this year from. That's what it reminds me of. He's like a 19-year-old college frat boy. Not really frat, but college kid at a concert. I mean, he must be rubbing Ben Gay on every night. I mean, it just hurts my body to even think about that. Sleeping in a tent for 4 days.
I don't even know how he's making it through. I mean, there's got to be a point where it's like, okay, I'm done with this entire thing. And
he's sending us photos like all through the day, like this band is on and this band's on, and I'm like, you're still there? Like, it has to get boring at a certain point, I would think.
I mean, I looked at the lineup again. I was just talking with my wife before, while we were eating dinner before the recording, and I said, she goes, what is this? And I said, it's a 4-day music festival. I'm like, I would never. I said 20 years ago, maybe. And she goes, what bands is it? I said, I think it's metal. And I showed her the lineup. There's some bands that we like that are on there. So I don't think it's boring, but man, he's day 4. He's as, alive as ever there.
Now, I think I saw the lineup, and there's a lot of bands that I've never heard of. So I can imagine that you take half the day off, and you're not in the pit there for 10 straight bands, 4 straight days,
right?
40 different acts up there. I mean, he's there for the big ones, and he's watching those. But I think the pictures he sent tonight, the crowd does look thinner. So I don't know if people just OD'd and died, or they just got trampled, or what. But it does look a little thinner. I mean, he did say he lost his glasses.
He lost his glasses.
Oh, that's right. He did say that.
Glasses. He probably lost.
I thought he lost something else too.
I can't believe he still has his cell phone.
Oh, that's what he lost. He lost his virginity, he was saying.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And
anal virginity on that one, or what?
Hey, you never know. There's a lot of tents.
So the answer to the question is how is he making it through 4 days? I mean, it's just sheer Red Bull and sheer determination. That's what it is.
Oh,
sugar-free Red Bulls and Hostess cupcakes.
Yep.
Probably hasn't showered in 4 days either. Gross.
No way. No, he's covered in mud.
I would never.
He's covered in what he thinks is mud. You know what I mean?
He's not actually snapping a photo, so we can't see him. We just see what he's looking at. But if we can see him, I'm sure it's not good.
He probably looks like he's on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he hasn't shaved in like a week.
All right. Well, this was the Lord Walden segment. He's at Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. He's coming down from that whole experience. I'm sure he's having a great time. So we'll see him on the next episode. Chris, we'll jump into him in a few minutes. I don't know. He's taking a breather tonight. Who's got the first win? Let's go ahead and jump in for Wednesday's wins of the week.
So I'll go first. I think last Wednesday I had the PBPs, and everyone was making fun of me for PBP. Well, the same happens to be right on eBay again. Same seller was selling a China COO Luke X-Wing, and I need this one graded, and it is like, I don't know, absolutely perfect again. So I'm going to send this one in to AFA. I'll see it in about 9 months, but hopefully that gets like an 80 plus or an 85.
Did you need the China COO on that one?
I did, yeah. I mean, I want it.
Give us a quick close-up while we're talking about it. Give us like a real good...
Yeah, you just threw it up there and you just took it straight
because
down.
I know Brandon, that's why.
Yeah, Brandon's got to be quiet.
His eyes only go to one thing, and then he doesn't look at anything else.
Right.
But it's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah, so for our fellow collectors out there and for some newbie collectors that might be watching, the very first thing my eyes go to on the Luke X-Wing is the black stripes, okay? The black stripe. I mean, there's other rub spots on that figure, but 99% of the time, the black is the first thing to go. So you look at his butt.
And then
the white
in the back.
The white too, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like visually, when you look at it.
You know why? Because the black, you can never, let's say that figure he's got, if it was never in an X-Wing, it'll keep its black paint. But those vests, the white vests, they're very hard to get painted the whole way through. So that is one of the things that I look for.
When I'm looking at it, looking for that bold, like what's the first thing that jumps out at me? I see that black on the orange. And if that black is thin, if there's a spot there, I feel like I could pick out the rub right away. The white, you got to check, second, but looks good.
I regularly, send stuff in for grading anyway, but now I have a chip on my shoulder because I know if I show Brandon, I make sure when I find something, I'm like, what would Brandon say? And I'm like, I wouldn't show him, this one. But I wouldn't show him that one. This one I would show you.
If Brandon was the grader at the company that you were using, what percentage of figures would you send in? Like 30% of what you currently send in?
He would give most of them, I would think, a 70, but he would spit on them. So you would get it back and then have his spit on your figure on the inside because he's like, oh, that's garbage. He is so picky. So
you get the label back and it would have the barcode and it would say 70 and it would say Luke X-Wing with Alamo Spittle. You write in the label. All right, very good, very good. So just to wrap that up, the China COO is indicative of the PBP figure.
No, that's just a China COO.
Yeah, it was a China COO.
You were saying the PBPs were
I'm just saying that he was selling a lot of PBPs, and he had the China COO, and I needed this one, so
it's a Return of the Jedi card back.
Is there anything else more we know about it off the top of our heads? Is the China COO, is that Macau or anything, or could it be Hong Kong or Taiwan?
Is the China COO Hong Kong or is it Macau? I think the China COO is China.
What's the number for 911?
but that's where the confusion is, for some people, including myself. Where in China is that? It'd be like Taiwan is an island, right? Hong Kong is an island, I believe, or at least
the only one who would know where it is Brandon.
Is Brandon? Okay.
Where was the China factory, Brandon?
In China.
Very good. Very good. There you go.
All right. For anybody who's smarter than 3 idiots that you see on the screen, you can comment below and let us know, where was the China factory? I don't know if I've heard that before or not, but we'll move on. Brandon, your win of the week. Go ahead, post it up for us. What do you got?
A reuse that I picked up yesterday. Painted hands.
Painted hand.
Let me see if I can get Brandon up there. Here we are.
He has a 360 camera. What's lower than 1080? 720, and then it's what, 360?
I love it. I love that Brandon's internet is the worst internet out of everybody. It's a Atari 2600 at his house. That's what he's filming a podcast on a 1979 console. I love it. I love we can't have him on full screen. Look, I can't even tell if he's smiling or if he's angry.
You definitely need 1080.
I don't have it on 1080.
We'd be happy with 540.
You got to switch it.
No, I like to film like we're in Star Wars, where it's a little grainy.
Well, you're doing a good job.
I think it's just the buffering or the internet connection, because it was a little bit better when we started. But to
me right now, me and Charles are clear, and Shane is super grainy.
Oh no, I'm crystal clear. Crystal. Shane
is almost see-through. That's how clear he is.
Charles does not want to see me this clear. He wishes I was grainy. I could see Charles like what he had for breakfast right now. He's as clear as can be. All right, so Brandon, you have a re-yeast. I was totally lost in that. I'm sorry. What re-yeast is it? What's the story?
It's Hong Kong CO, I think. It's
okay.
Yeah, Hong Kong CO, painted hands, which I have never seen a painted hands before, and the eyes were perfect on it, so I had to pick it up.
I haven't seen a painted hands either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the off the top of my head, that's a Hong Kong, you're saying. So the Taiwan
I've only seen molded. All the ones I've seen are all molded hands.
So I have both, and the Taiwan is molded hands, and the Hong Kong is painted hands. But the red is also different. One is a bit more of a reddish brown, and one is more of a darker red, like a burgundy or maroon or something.
So is the Hong Kong factory, is that in Hong Kong, Brendan?
What island is that Hong Kong factory?
Hong Kong in China?
Very good. All right, so I'll jump over to my win of the week. I have, in the light of the fact that there's only 3 of us, I have two small wins I'll share. This one it's something I have already, but I got one in because I wanted to have one to open with my daughter and let her. I like to share my collection stuff with my kids, and we kind of rotate. They each have a shelf in their room, a kind of a high up collectible shelf, even from when they were babies. And we rotate, and I've got some Sigma ceramic stuff on my son's shelf, and my daughter's got some Power of the Force figures and some die-cast figures. Any case, I got this in. It's Star Tours. Brandon, you might be able to tell me a little bit more than I even know about this. This is specifically from the parks, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep.
Star Tours.
Yeah, so these were sold in the parks. There's a limited number of these. I think they're kind of old now. I don't think they sell them anymore, but these are from like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I think. And you can kind of see what other.
It's probably when the ride first came out, Star Tours.
Yeah. Well, I think it wasn't quite that old, but I think the dates on them are like either something like the late 90s or early 2000s, something like that. So, so it's Minnie Mouse as Leia. So that's cute. It's cool. So I'm going to let my daughter open this. I thought maybe we'll even do a little unboxing, a little video, and have fun with that. But it's fun to mix the Disney flavor with the Star Wars. And this might have even been before before Disney bought Star Wars. So that really was a mashup at the time, which was unusual. The other, did Brandon drop off here? Yeah.
His internet was hanging on by a string. So
yeah, I mean, it was about to happen any moment. All right. So I'll go ahead. I was at a toy show recently, and there was a guy with a bunch of he had some figures, but he had a bunch of ships and a few play sets, and he had a pretty good mix of vintage as well as Power of the Force stuff actually, and he also had some prequel trilogy stuff. And viewers will know why I grabbed this as soon as they see it. I actually grabbed two of them. He had two of them there, and with the customs that I do, immediately I was like, oh yeah, definitely want to turn this into the Mando ship. So haven't gotten to that yet, but it's in good shape. It's the Jedi Starfighter, or I don't know if it was just called the Starfighter, but it's the ship that Anakin flew in Episode 1. It's a very cool looking ship. I have to say, it never really jumped out at me or resonated with me more than just, oh yeah, that was cool in the movie. But now that the Mando's got this, and season 3 will be coming out in the next 6 months or so, I'm really excited about to do some kind of custom paint job with this and turn this into the Mando ship.
I love that ship, and I know the price just skyrocketed once Mando got that ship, and now I think it's back down to where it should be.
And that's fine. And I got it for a very reasonable price. I got it for probably a really good price, actually. I probably bought about 9 ships from him.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, across that mix of time periods that I was just talking about. So, he gave me a really good deal. And the guy was there he had a table with a buddy of his, and it was apparent to me that his buddy sold toys, and he was there with his children's old collectibles that he wanted to move on from. So we talked about our kids, and he gave me a great deal, and everything everything I got from him, some people talk nonsense, when they're trying to get a deal. Everything I got from him is staying with me. My kids are playing with some of the things already. I'm going to do some custom stuff with them, and they'll stay with me. So it was nice. It was a nice conversation at a toy show. So those are my wins. Brandon's back. Here he is. Now he's nice and clear. He reset his router. Oh, he's frozen.
I mean, clear is
take another call.
A very strong word.
He's clear and frozen. So I'm eating my words right there.
Am I still frozen?
You're moving like Shane sent the GIF of a hamster running on a wheel for Chris earlier. That's probably what your internet is like.
I did. In our group chat, I sent a GIF of hamsters running on a wheel and said, a live look at Chris's router right now. You know what he looks like? You remember when we were kids, MTV, that Max Headroom, where it was just real cut and weird. That's what Brandon's doing. He's freezing and coming and going. All right, boys. We have a kind of a shorter episode. Well, we're about 20 minutes in. This was a good episode.
How about our whiff?
Right. I was just going to say, let's wrap it up with a whiff. Does anybody have a shipping disaster, or broken something or other, or just a bad interaction in trying to get an item?
I don't have one, but I could throw out a whiff of the week. Would be the podcast fatigue for Chris and for John. I think they're feeling the podcast fatigue on logging in every Sunday and making videos and doing the editing and all that. I think they're worn out, where I know Chris needed a day off. He just needed 1 day off from the podcast.
And I don't think, unless somebody has anything funny to say, we're not even necessarily geared up to knock him. I mean, the whole John going to a festival for 4 days is just so great, but that's it. Chris needed a night with his wife and to veg out and get ready for the work week, and his wife's going to be at work in the morning, and it happens. We record this every week nonstop.
Yep,
it's been over a year.
Twice a week,
every week. I mean, it's
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, it's understandable. That's all I'm saying. I had a couple of weeks off recently, one for vacation, one for a death in the family. So it wasn't planned, and one for COVID. I mean, I was wiped. I couldn't get on. I was laying on the couch, couldn't move. It's going to happen. That's the good thing about there being 5 of us. Just to give a little back, insider story. I mean, the guys who do this by themselves, if they don't have their regular podcast, they got to figure something out. They got to have some in the can or whatever. But we got 5 hosts.
Yep, that's true.
So Chris, we love you. Enjoy your night off. We'll see you on the next episode. The whiff is that our viewers are stuck with these three idiots and not all five of us, but we'll all be back in full strength soon. Guys, a fun episode. We'll invite everybody to like the video, comment, let us know what you thought about the new collectibles that we shared. Let us know what you thought about John Walden at a headbanger 4-day festival in his advanced age. And we'll invite you to please come back on Sunday and check out our full podcast episode. We are going to be discussing a fun topic. It is topical for Star Wars fans. We're going to be going all out on Andor, the new series, the toys that are coming out, and we're going to shoot the breeze as well and kind of just have some fun conversation. So please come back on Sunday. Check us out here on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. You can go to 5idiotstalkingtoys.com for all of our links, and you can also collect with us at rogue5toys.com. Thanks very much, everyone. We will see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Good night, boys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.